I hope you guys are not, whoever is listening, I hope you're not in that snow zone where you are inundated with snow. Here in Pennsylvania, I'm just very freezing cold. It was 0 this morning, and I think it's now 2 or 3 degrees.
That's bad.
It's cold, let me tell you. What did my ex-husband used to say? It's colder than a bear's ass. Well, hello there, everybody. Hello, Amnan. How
Hello.
are you doing? Amnan, our producer, who's making all of this happen. Guys out there, give him a hand. I mean, fabulous. So, Amnan, introduce yourself. Tell the people of how they can get in touch because we're going to have a little bit of a different format today. So, tell them of how they can reach us.
All right. So to reach us, 518, 919 518 9773 or Computers 2K Voice on Skype. Besides, you need to log in to the chat so you can talk to us back and forth
Yeah.
also.
Now, listen, guys. Today, we're going to do this a little different. Hopefully, this will work. I don't know. If it doesn't work, I keep talking about other things, but uh, it would be nice if it would work. If you have a complaint, if you have an ailment, a malaise, a boo-boo, if you know of somebody who has a problem, just go into the chat, state the problem, and I will try to give you some advice right now, right today. This is the first time that I'm doing this, and I hope this will work. I hope this will be good for you and also educational for you. Um, it's I try to do different things to engage you and to see of what your likes and dislikes are. And I know we have a lot of listeners. And I really appreciate you giving, tuning in on Sundays and listening to me. But if I don't know how to help you, you are obviously listening because you're interested in natural health. You're interested in homeopathy, which really can help. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So, in the meantime, while I keep talking and telling you a little bit about this, formulate your question. Formulate a question and ask me anything. I mean, why can't, like somebody asked me today of my cat's hair is standing in the middle up a little bit, and why is that? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. But I will research it. I will find out. And the next time that we are again visiting with each other, um, I will give you the answer if I found one. So most of the answers, most of the questions, hopefully I can answer right away. A few new things that happened during the week. And like I said, let's first find out how many people are in the snow. Amnan, you're in the snow, right?
Well, we have mainly it's ice.
Ice, yeah, we do too.
We have maybe an inch outside, but it's
Ah,
base of ice and then snow on top of it. It
yeah.
was not as bad as they predicted. It was supposed to be 7 degrees last night. It only went down to 17. They're talking about
Oh, only,
zero
yeah,
tonight. I doubt it's going to be zero. I mean, they are way off. So I'm
yeah,
hoping everything will be fine. But it's okay. I mean, we're not getting out.
yeah,
Down here, when it's 1 inch like that, that's treacherous.
yeah, yeah. Well, here too, my driveway. I mean, I had this week, I had a couple of problems. Thank God we have this one vehicle that is a four-wheel drive, but even that was sliding around on my driveway. The other car got stuck on the driveway right on a tree, uh, not
Mm.
not denting it, but on the side. It slid over and it slid on the side. So now it was sitting right next to the tree. And I was saying, okay, Gisela, if you don't do this right, you're going to rip the whole side of your car off. So I, by the grace of God, I managed without a scratch. And it was just really a miracle. So now I'm parking it somewhere else where I can't do that, right on the entrance of my driveway. But my driveway is really it's a little bit tricky because it's it has a middle part, and then it has two others so that you can drive around it. But in this kind of weather, when it's my driveway is all ice and I have no pavement, I did not blacktop it because, as you guys know, I am for the environment, and I am trying to keep my property with as low a footprint as I possibly can. Um, Black tar is and this asphalt stuff that they put on is really very detrimental for the environment. Now, many times you don't have a choice because that's the way the house comes, or and I see now my neighbors all have blacktop, and I see they don't have the problems that I have because they can use the snow blower, and it the snow disappears. But my driveway is so that when there is a little bit of rain, it turns immediately to ice, and it's just really treacherous. So you know I mean, you take the good with the bad, right? I mean, I try to live the way I want to live, and then you have to put up with this kind of stuff too. So one of the other things is that we found this week, homeopathy, uh, by the government and by the Surgeon General and all of these governmental agencies, it's always poo-pooed. It's always, it doesn't work. There's no evidence, and all the results that we submit, they're always, well, that's just anecdotal. That's just it doesn't. You have to have a government approved test and testing done in order for this to be valid, right? So that's very difficult with homeopathy because everybody requires a different remedy. The one person who falls and bangs their head and maybe wrenches their neck might be doing well with arnica, but the other person that has a similar, almost similar accident may have to use arnica and rutagrave and roost tox and something else, or just that. It really depends on the symptom that is evident. And I can't stress that enough. Just because your mother is taking this remedy and she feels and her symptoms are almost the same as yours. I mean, she has the, let's say, just for instance, she has pain in her hip, okay? And you now have a pain in your hip. Well, Rustax might be the right remedy for you too, but it might not be. You may have the pain from a kidney problem. You may have the pain from rheumatism. You may have the pain from a fall or a hit to the hip. So just because the symptom is similar, that does not mean the remedy is the same. Okay? I can't stress that enough. And all the remedies that we discuss here is not always the same. That's why I want you to send me. I want you to go into the chat room or call or send smoke signals. Amnon, do we answer smoke signals?
Of course we do.
Of course we do.
I have a
So
question.
anything, I will try to give you the right answer, and I will try to guide you at least in the right
We
direction.
we
Right?
have a friend that got pink eye. What
That got what?
pink eye?
Oh, pink eye. Yeah. Okay.
What is she supposed to take?
Well, pink eye is usually a bacterial infection, and I would I would do two things. One thing, I would bathe it with chamomile, and that usually fixes it right away. And here's what you do with that. It's not exactly homeopathic, but it is, because just because it's prepared in a different way, that doesn't mean that it is not. Homeopathic means it is a, a remedy that is for humans, for homeos, okay, or for living things. Here's how you prepare the solution for that. And that usually works very, very well. Get chamomile, the tea, but don't get the tea bag. Get loose chamomile flowers.
Real tea.
Real chamomile flowers. Put it into a container with water and boil it for 2 to 3 minutes. Bring it up to a rolling boil. Turn it off. Let it sit. Let it steep for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Then you siphon off with a strainer all the flowers. You can use that again, by the way. You don't throw that away. Cool it to a skin temperature. Now take either patches of gauze or large cotton roundels and soak it in there, put it on the eye, try to get a drop or two into the eye. Do that 2-3 times a day, and the pink eye will be gone. But pink eye is also very contagious. So you want to not get close to other people while you have it.
Right.
And you have to do it 2-3 times a day to get it. But that scratchy feeling and the pink eye can be very, very painful, and so all that will be all eye conditions that may be, if you get one of those, what do you call it, where you, like a sty, if you get a sty, if you have conjunctivitis, which is we call it pink eye, it's conjunctivitis really. And all of that can be, even if you have a scratch on your eye, like you run through the woods, like when I was horseback riding a lot, we would gallop through the woods. Well, those branches, they don't make any distinction if it's your eye, your face, or whatever. And once in a while, I would get a branch into my eye, and let me tell you, that hurts like heck. And then chamomile would fix it. Okay, they are homeopathic remedies for it, but they don't work as well as the chamomile. I can guarantee you. Okay, so tell her to do that,
I
and let me tell you, it it works. Leave the cotton pad on there for 10 minutes or so until it's cool. Take it off. Do it in an hour again. Do it several times. Especially the first time. Very antiseptic chamomile. You can do that also if you have a scratch or an abrasion anywhere else on the body. Chamomile. Chamomile, super antiseptic. Great question. Great question. Lots of people suffer from it. You can get it from animals too, you know?
hmm.
If animals have conjunctivitis, some animals get it. And I have a cat that has chronic conjunctivitis. She came to me like that. She gets treated with arsenicum, and then it leaves her for a while. Then she's good for a couple weeks, and then she has to have another dose. It's something in her system that can't really fend it and heal it completely, which is okay. I mean, a dose of arsenicum, it's not really that bad. I have tried to do the chamomile with her. Well, they're all feral cats, and they do not mess with my face, do not mess with my eyes, and I did not cherish the thought of getting scratched up. So I use the arsenicum, and she is fine then. Okay.
All right.
Anybody else out there? Oh, I love it. Yes,
Not at this point, no.
not
Oh,
yet.
wait a second.
Okay. None
What?
of you can think. Yeah.
Wait, there's one. What about dry eye syndrome?
Ha. Great question. Great question. Well, dry eye syndrome is a syndrome that is also it it is that in a person or in an animal? Animals don't really get it that often,
I
but
would say it's
some
in a
people
person.
do. It's probably a person, yes. Well, the natural glycerin that is out there for eyes works pretty well. Try homeopathy, try chamomile too. I swear by chamomile, even though, like I said, there are many eye remedies for in homeopathy. I have never felt that they worked as well for eyes. Now, that's just really specifically eyes than chamomile. Any kind of eye irritation, any kind of chamomile really works well. One other thing is with dry eye, also, you have to find the cause for it. If the cause is contact lenses, you're wearing the wrong type of contact lens, not the strengths, but the wrong type of contact lens. There are several contact lenses out there now that are with a film. I wear sometimes those contact lenses, and they really work well. Okay, for my eyes, because the other contact lenses that I would have, I would put them in, and after an hour or two, my eyes would get scratchy, and I would not be able to see as well. Um, then I changed the manufacturer and the contact lens, and you have to have your eye doctor guide you in that. Okay, but I can give you homeopathic remedies, but none of them work as well. Okay.
Okay.
They work for a little bit, but you know, chamomile and find the cause for the dry eye. Okay.
All right.
Anybody else?
Nope.
All right. So I'll keep talking. So, what did remember before we started in with a question? So I will be going back and so on. fill in, think about some more questions. Listen, guys, this is your opportunity today. I normally don't give this away. Normally you have to pay for this. This time you don't have to pay for this, okay? So take advantage. Um, the Allergy Institute, I must say, I keep forgetting all these institutes of these government things, but they came out with a thing of where they were saying peanut allergy for children and for adults too is really going rampant. Lot of children have peanut allergies, and I don't know if you guys have seen the excerpt of where they were saying. Now they are saying, well, we can fix this by giving children. They gave 9 children, no, 28 children, sorry, 28 children. They gave acidophilus and peanut, a very small amount of peanut. And they did this over several weeks. Did you read this, Amnon?
No, no, I didn't.
No. Yeah. So they found that with that, once they had done that, 7 out of 9 children were able to tolerate then peanuts in their diet. I mean, the whole homeopathy community, we all busted out laughing, you know? It was just like, oh yeah, really? You're just coming up with this now? We have been saying that, what, for 200 years? Hahnemann has been saying that?
Yeah.
Small doses will fix the problem of the same thing that is afflicting you. That is what homeopathy is. Like cures like. We were all astounded at this revelation, at this huge. Can you imagine the money they spent for this? And so, I mean, yeah. You know what? We live in an insane world. We really are.
Yes.
We have to, where really the mentally disturbed are running the institute, running the country. It's unbelievable what's happening out there. So we just really, I thought I share that with you. The second one that they came up with, which was equally, in my opinion, yeah, well, I don't want to say insane again because it is, but it is insane. CBD oil. You have heard me talk about CBD oil. CBD oil is a revelation, is a panacea. It is the only medication for so many people that they can live without pain. Now they have found that some of the CBD oils, it depends on what plant they came from, but some of the CBD oils can cure cancer. I know myself, my husband, and I readily admit that without that we would not be living pain-free. Okay. So many people now they are saying that is a class 1 substance that can only be governed by the federal government and is illegal to be used. Now, many of the CBD oils are coming from hemp plants. They have no THC. They don't make you high. You don't get a buzz. I mean, if you have CBD oil from somebody that made it from a marijuana plant, which is a different plant, really, because it has THC. The THC makes you high, not the CBD. CBD is the cannabidiol. It is the essence of the plant. And many of the hemp plants have it, not in as high amounts as some of the marijuana plants, but they still have it. And you don't need higher amounts. You can only, my CBD oil that we are taking is from a hemp plant. It's has no THC, does not make us high, does not, we don't party with that stuff, okay? So now they are classifying that, also throwing it in with, we're going backwards, we're not going forward. But many of the states, thank God, people, anybody listening out there who is for that, please do tell your congressman, contact your health department, say we need to have this available for our children, for our parents, for us, even for our animals. I mean, if you have an animal that has hip dysplasia and may be in a lot of pain, I would bet you that animal would be made much more comfortable with a drop of CBD oil on the food.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Many of our seniors are very, very much so depressed because they don't have enough money, because the government, we haven't had a social security increase in ages. What they gave us last year? Well, I think I got $1.50. Oh, did I get $1.50? I think it was, might even have been less. So last year, that's whoopee, right?
All right.
And I mean, thank God I am not that I destitute and have to choose between medication and food, or having an animal that will help me, uh, bring me companionship. Many elderly cannot afford an animal, because, yeah, maybe a cat or a dog. I mean, it is an expense, but it brings so much companionship, and it helps elderly to stay well. Because if you
Yeah.
have to get out of bed in the morning and you have to let your dog out, or you have to let your cat out, and you have to take care of that animal, you will be moving around. If you're not continuously focusing on yourself, woe me. It is not something that they choose. It's something that our society has put them in. It is unbelievable. Now the elderly have found that if they do take a bit of CBD oil, many of them have gone to smoke pot. They smoke a joint a day, or half a joint, or a couple of puffs. It gets them through the day. They are not high. They are not a menace to society. Much better than a drink where you alcohol destroys. We know the liver and the kidneys. We know that for a fact. We
Questions.
don't really know yet what continuous use of marijuana will do to your body, but we have a lot of evidence. We have a lot of evidence. Willie Nelson has been smoking pot all his life, all his life. Well, he is one hilarious dude. You know, he is out there. He is in his 80s now. He still gives concerts whenever they ask him to. He doesn't have much of a voice anymore, but still does, and still is living a full life.
Yep.
And that is nothing. Nothing broke down in his body that I can see. and nobody has reported on anything. I am not saying, we should wake up with a joint in the morning and go to bed with a joint in the evening. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that rather than taking a chemical compound that will drive you more into depression, that will ruin your body even more and have 20,000 side effects, wouldn't it be much easier if we could take a legalized compound that helps us cope with our stresses in everyday life?
Yep.
It is not right what the government is doing to us. And we are the government, people. We are the government. They are not the government. We are the government. So go out there, write to your congressman, call your Congress, call your health department and tell them we need to legalize this. Now, Pennsylvania is just this week sending out the applications for dispensaries and growers. And so hopefully by 2018, they hope to have dispensaries and growers in place. So they are making the effort.
Questions?
And in my opinion, and the states are taking the lead in this. Hopefully this new government that we are going to have, even though it will be very, very conservative as it looks, hopefully they will see the light, that without the people, there will be no country. And without the people, and our healthcare system is totally so out of whack. Because the pharmaceutical companies have been taking over and, in my opinion, making many times matters worse. So
Gisela,
this is what?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, there are questions. Go ahead and finish, though.
Yeah, and many times we need pharmaceuticals. Many times we need pharmaceuticals.
Yep.
No question about it. But the first line, our bodies are designed to help themselves. If we can give them the gentle help, as with homeopathy, CBD, marijuana, natural compounds that will help us to keep our bodies. I think I said that last week. In the United States, the life expectancy has dropped instead of gone up. So that tells you something, no?
Mm-hmm.
And it is definitely not because people are smoking pot.
All right.
Definitely not.
Here are
Now
some
we can roll that one out.
here are some
Okay?
questions.
So what's the question?
One is, should one use an injection or oral for peanut allergies?
No, what they did is they gave it orally because they put it with acidophilus.
Okay. Second one.
But they also said that it has to be monitored very closely, because if an allergy does happen during the time of acclimatization, I mean, where you try to train the body to accept peanuts, you have to have something that will, like an EpiPen or something,
Yeah. Okay, the next
Okay.
one is, any remedy for rheumatoid arthritis?
Oh, yes. Many, in fact, you must have been in my head, because I wanted to talk about that next. Because this time of the year, in January, I don't care where you live, January, February, March is rheumatoid and arthritis uh, time. As the wet weathers come in, arthritis works best when it is dry and warm. Moist, some arthritis works okay if you're in a moist climate, but most of them not. Uh, if you if you have rheumatoid, there are two rheumatoid arthritis and arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is from the heart. It's an affliction from the heart, and many of the pains, heart medications, should be used, or heart uh, uh, remedies that correspond to the heart. Um, if it is an arthritis pain, just hands, feet, hips, neck, like I have in my neck, which is from an accident, but it is an arthritis form. Um, there are several remedies. One is, which really works well, is bryonia, magnesium fuss, rudagrave, and rhus tox. Now, here again, the 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 person who asked that question, elaborate please just a little bit on that. Is it a pain that gets worse with movement, or is it a pain that gets better with movement?
All right, we'll wait for clarification. And
Okay.
in the meantime, another question that says Sally is asking, can people that are on antidepressants replace them with homeopathic remedies?
Definitely. Definitely. I have done that for many clients. Yes. One of what it depends also of where, again, I keep coming back to that, what the depression is from. Is the depression from that I'm just depressed because my system is lacking something, and I just really get depressed. I get depressed because I'm alone. I get depressed because I lost a loved one. I get depressed because uh, I lost my job. I get depressed because I'm addicted to something, either cigarettes or alcohol or heavier drugs, and I cannot cope to be without it. So these are all different depressions. But I think, Sally, that most of the depressions are because, woe me, I'm alone, I'm getting old, I lost a loved one, I can't really cope with that, I lost an animal that I loved very much. Ignatia is one of the remedies that is par excellence for that. Now there are a few other ones, but Ignatia is always my first choice for somebody like that. Now, not myrrh and not sulf are two other ones, but each one you would have to really know a little bit more about what is going on, why that depression is. But if you lost an animal that you loved very much, or you lost, a husband or a mother or a child, God forbid, um, then Ignatia works. Ignatia works brilliantly. And if you have been on depression medication for many, many years, like so many people are, then what you do is you take the homeopathic remedy while you're nursing yourself off the um, the pharmaceutical depression medication. and it works well. It really works well. I've had several clients that couldn't thank me enough for for giving them an alternative. And here's the thing with homeopathy. It does not just that you have to take it forever. No, it fixes the problem. It fixes the problem. So after like a month or maybe a week, depends on the person, you don't have to take it anymore because you're feeling better. You're feeling more normal. You're feeling more the way, more even, more balanced. And that is what you want to do. Great question, Sally. Thank you.
Okay. So now about the arthritis, it's worse
Yes,
with movement.
it gets worse with movement.
Yep.
All right. Then what I would suggest is two things: bryonia, rhus tox, and magnesium fuzz. Now, if they're crampy pains like at night, you know, I have a girlfriend who has at night when she goes to bed, her hands just get crampy and so painful that she sometimes she can't even live. I mean, it's uh, until she found magnesium phosphoride, magnesium phosphoride, and rhus tox. She takes it together. Excuse me, please. She takes it together, and it works brilliantly for her.
Okay.
So if that is the case, try that, and I would love to hear if
Now,
you had a
are
result.
are you? Did you mean to say that the people should take all three at the same time, or
No,
try?
no, no. Magnesium phos and rhus tox you can take at the same time. Don't take 3 or 4 remedies at the same time. It it there are many companies that offer that in a vial. They call it Remedy 14 or 15 or whatever, and you can buy them, and they usually don't work that well. I've found Hahnemann, who really refined the knowledge of homeopathy, because homeopathy was used by the Egyptians already, was used by the Greeks, and but not in the form of the way Hahnemann had. And he laid down um, the way it should be taken, one remedy at a time. And I most of the time advise that. But sometimes, like in this case, the magnesium fast will stop the cramping, that will stop that that really excruciating pain that you can have. And you should take that right away. It should be, in fact, magnesium phosphoride should be on every nightstand table and should be in every purse and should be with you all the time. Um, at this time of the year when it's this cold and you live in a colder climate, but even in California, my son had it. All of a sudden, his hand started to cramp up. Thank God I had magnesium fuzz with me. I gave him a dose immediately. He was fine. So magnesium fuzz for all cramping pains. And then the rhus tox is to help alleviate the pain and to get you through the day. I would advise to take it 3 times a day in the beginning, and then to taper down to take it once. And once you stop having pains and the hands move better, then you discontinue for a while. If you have to, you take it again. My girlfriend has to take it all the time because she has rheumatoid arthritis. That will not be fixed, but she can be symptom free. So now she can walk and her knees work again. She has it in her knees and her hands, and she can walk and she can be, relatively pain free, much more so than with anything else that she has tried. Okay. Any more? Great. We're
Not
doing
at this
great
point.
here.
Nope, not now.
Well, the show is almost over. It flew by in a jiffy. And I am so happy that you guys finally came and used the chat room. And I'm getting the questions. It makes for a so much better show. Don't you think, Amnon?
Of course.
Yes. Because otherwise I just have to constantly just think of what would be of interest. So, to recap it for today, please, wherever you live, write to your congressman. If you live in a state where marijuana is still not allowed, not everybody needs medical marijuana, by the way, okay? Medical marijuana is really not, there is no standardizing yet. There is nothing that says, okay, this one is for sleep. It's all anecdotal. So, it should be free. It should be for everybody, should be able to grow a plant in their house. And with that, you have the medicine chest right there. That's my opinion. Okay, and I'm standing by it. And I thank you all for being my guest today. Thank you for me being in your living room or in your car or wherever you're listening to the show. And I will talk to you next Sunday. Hopefully next Sunday, we will talk about more of maybe arthritis, but I really do want to talk a little bit more about a remedy that I absolutely love, and that is called pulsatilla. And pulsatilla, and Amnon, if I forget, because I always have so many things on my plate that I want to talk about, but I will make a note. Pulsatilla. It's a remedy that is fabulous, and we talk about it next week. If any of you, of my faithful listeners, will give me a reminder, give me a jolt, and say, Gisela, you wanted to talk about pulsatilla, I will do so. I also have planned a real surprise in a couple of weeks. My dean, the woman who has the branch for the British Institute of Homeopathy in United States, Maria Bowl. Hopefully she will be a guest. She sent me an email that she would within a couple of weeks, and I'm very excited about that. So that will be, we will talk about homeopathy exclusively, and we'll talk about how to become a homeopathist and what is involved. And so that should be very exciting.
Yes.
So I wish you a wonderful week. Hopefully your year started great. And bye-bye. See you next Sunday.
You're tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.